My name is Mitch Benner, and we started this podcast to remove the stigma around sobriety from addiction.
My name is Aaron Nelson. Through our stories and the stories of our guests, we hope to help you find a new path.
Thank you so much. We're back here at Shattered Darkness. Today we have a good friend of ours and somebody that's been kind of really plugging into our community and, showing up in a really cool way. Morgan Jewell, how are you today?
Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it and it being so last minute. But before we get kicked off, I just want to say thank you to our listeners. Truly from my heart, this has been a passion project for us. It's been something that we just want to share with our community and really help people find true change. It's why we introduced what we thought were the 6 pillars to getting through sobriety, and we can kind of use them as steps. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And as we've gotten into this, we've really realized that these 6 pillars are prevalent in almost everybody's story. Anyways, we just want to say thank you guys for listening, for contributing to this. Obviously likes, shares, comments, all that kind of stuff. Feedback from you guys is the most important. We just want to make sure that our content is relevant and actually serving you guys in a positive way in your life. So anyways, with that, we're going to get into Morgan's story. So I will kind of turn it over to you a little bit and you can kind of give us the origin of Morgan Jewell.
We're going to have to stop for just a second and recognize and give Mitch a big, huge high five.
Yeah, Mitch.
Today is July 10th, and it's Mitch's 1-year anniversary.
Yep.
So if you're listening right now, give a comment, give a like, give a share, or attaboy to Mitch. Hit him up. Social media, blow his whole page up right now. I know this will be weeks behind, but as you're listening, please give this guy some love and recognition. So good job, dude.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, but I'm definitely glad to be sitting here today. So thanks for that, and let's do it, man.
Cool.
Let's start wherever you want.
Yeah. So like you said, my name is Morgan. I'm 24 years old and I live here in Northern Colorado, Loveland area. Been here my whole life. I've traveled a little bit, like college in Arizona, grew up a little bit in Texas, but for the most part, here in Colorado is what I call home.
Where in Texas did you guys live?
For 8 months when I was 6, we were in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
So like the island off of Texas. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What college?
I went to Grand Canyon University for about a year in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a Christian school. And there I faced so much spiritual warfare. It's a Christian school, so you have targets on your back for, being a follower. And I was really depressed. And so COVID happened and I left there. And then I ended up graduating from UNC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Go Bears.
Did you go to UNC? Or were you just saying that?
Yeah, no, go Bears. My parents spent money, wrote checks to UNC, and I slept in the dorms and drank and had a puking tree. So that was my college experience.
Yeah. I feel like for the most part, that's college UNC experience. Yeah.
Dude, there's still actually, you said a puking tree. This reminds me, one time we were at a party in Fort Collins and I stole a bong. And this huge bong, dude. It was probably big as my leg, 3 feet long. And we are running out the back door with this huge thing, away from the cops. And we ended up burying it under a pine tree because we were going to come back and get it. And then woke up the next day and completely forgot what had happened.
Wow.
So as far as I know, there's a 3-foot bomb buried somewhere under a tree in Fort Collins.
Probably someone excavated that and made a multifamily and they found it.
Probably.
Took it home.
Yeah. Anyways, that just reminded me of that. It was a funny story. So
what frat did you steal it from then?
I have no idea, dude. It probably was. It was a house party somewhere up on
we had this case of all of our pieces in there and they were all displayed nicely. And I always sat there and watched it like a hawk when we had parties because
we locked it up and shit.
And then when we got busted and the cops were standing right next to it when they were writing us all tickets.
Didn't say anything.
And I'm staring at it. The cop was leaning right there with behind it. She didn't even notice this whole cabinet full of pipes and bones and everything. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
She's probably so used to it.
Yeah, right. In Fort Collins, it
was I don't know if weed was legal then.
Probably not.
So we're just sitting there oh my God, just give me a drinking ticket. Please don't turn around. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
So you went to high school here, graduated from Greeley.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, I went to Mountain View High School and I was an athlete. So I feel like that was kind of my whole identity at the time. And we were talking about this earlier, but my mom and dad had me when they were very young, 19. And so their goal for me was to, always have straight A's, graduate, go to college, don't get pregnant, right? Like that was their thing that I heard almost every single day. So I feel like naturally I put a lot of pressure on myself to, to do that and to like be perfect. So do
you think that created a lot of anxiety and depression in you? Like that mentality of like, I have to be this certain thing? And do you feel like that was really your true identity?
So yes. Yeah. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I like growing up. Now I know I have ADHD because I've gotten a brain scan and I've gotten diagnosed. Like I know my brain waves show ADHD, but at the time I had no idea. So I had all these big emotions and I had all these like, just like a squirrely brain, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to contain that, and my parents didn't know how to navigate that like either. And in boys it's shown as like running around, like physically, but with females it's actually shown in the brain. Ultimately I didn't know how to handle that, so I would shut down. So naturally, as someone who was dealing with ADHD, and I thought, my parents would send me to like a therapist or a doctor, and they ruled it out as depression and anxiety. So then I was taking these meds, and someone with ADHD shouldn't be taking meds for depression, like antidepressants. So that just made it worse. And so I was very much a zombie is what it felt like. And like when you're that age, you're already going through so much and you're changing.
Was this like 12, 13, 14 that you're going through this stuff?
I would say more like 15, 16, 17. Yeah, that side. Where was I going with that?
It's just crazy though. Like, as we've heard that so many times, and I just pay more attention to it now. You get diagnosed with whatever, and then they put you on pills, and then you're a zombie, and you're just floating through life.
So check this out.
It is completely a trend, and it's gonna be. Dude, I feel like it's gonna be in 7, 8, 10 years from now. It's gonna be the same thing as like the opioid epidemic. Not a lot of people were dying, but they were given these pills for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and all the doctor had me do was gave me a piece of paper. Forgot what it's called, but it just asks you these few questions, and if you score a certain number, boom, you're deemed as depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
And they give you these pills, and they don't even check on you.
Seriously.
So this is my theory, and I've been thinking about this because I went and saw my doctor, and I don't know, dude, I've been struggling with like focus and, things like that, and self-discipline, and, I'm getting better at it, but it's like, I realize I haven't flexed that muscle in so long in my life. I've literally just done what I want to do, right? Like for the most part, like when it comes to after work and things like that, it's like I drank as much as I wanted. I smoked as much weed as I wanted. You know what I mean? It's like I'm in this mindset of like, you can't really tell me what to do. Like if I believe in something, I'm going this direction.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, I'm realizing after talking to my doctor, like, he's like, dude, you need to be talking to a psychiatrist like all the time. He's like, your brain, he's like, we've had 9 different conversations since you've been in here in the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
And it's like your brain is just all over the place. What you need to do, what's causing you anxiety is the fact that you can't sort all that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can put you on Adderall, Vyvanse, like all of these things that will medically help you with that. But he's like, you're not talking to it. You need to talk through it.
Yes.
And educate yourself, right? And I feel like that is like, it really hit me hard of like, oh my gosh, like I hadn't educated myself in those ways. Like I don't know enough about myself to be like, okay, this is how I'm going to react in this situation, right? Like I still have that part of me that's kind of uncovered. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because when you go to the doctor or the psychiatrist, they're giving you a pill and it's kind of a Band-Aid over everything.
Exactly.
And you're not actually doing the inner work.
Exactly.
Like, okay, why do I act this way? Like, and working through those habits that you've maybe picked up growing up and unlearning them, like actually doing the deep work instead of just, here's a pill and then everything's okay.
See, and that's the easy route. And for the longest time, because I'm still on medication, right? And it did help me get through the first 2 years of this, and did I do it perfectly? No. But, 1 year sober today, like I was actually talking to my doctor. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be on this stuff anymore. I don't know. I don't know anything else because of, the last 2 years, but I was like, I really don't want to be on this. And so that was kind of like, okay, well, you're the kind of person that needs to do work on yourself constantly, and so that's where I feel like the mental health train is going to be redirected, is away from medication, things like that,
Well, it's general health.
Exactly.
Like everything.
Exactly.
So many people just want surgery or put this copper fit knee sleeve on and you're not going to have pain anymore. It's stupid. Find it, strengthen it, mobilize it, and you're going to be fine.
And that's the thing, dude. It's like, imagine like your brain is a muscle, right? Like you have to flex certain parts of your brain. Like, you know, I never understood cold showers until actually I think I was talking to you about this.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, I'm like, this is the dumbest shit ever. But at the same time, it's not, dude, because you're flexing that muscle, right? You're doing something that your body is screaming like, why are you doing this to me?
Dude, that's why I love your generation too. And I think you're a good part of this because I think you're seeing how stupid we all are. Gen Z or Gen X and millennials. Like you guys are looking about how jacked up we are and like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I definitely think our generation is like waking up in a sense.
Yeah. And I love it. It's great. So yeah, keep good. Which this is about you, but not about us.
Yeah.
But this stuff pisses me off. So,
you know, the more like, because I fight for it, right? I fought for it the first 25 episodes of this podcast. Like, get on that. And I still advocate for it in a certain, like, I went through detox and rehab and all of that. That shit was such a nightmare. Like, the drugs that they put me on truly did help me get through that time.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's on me to be like, okay, do I really need this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, yeah. What's your story?
Let's see. So high school started.
So you're
depression
dealing
and-
with a lot of anxiety. Like you've identified, like, well, you're taking medication for ADHD, which probably isn't helping a whole lot, right?
Well, so I wasn't taking Adderall, or I was taking like Lexapro, so a depressant. And why I feel like I needed it for a season of my life, but after a year or so, that's when I was just numb and I like couldn't feel life. That's why I said zombie. What else?
and then how'd you get through that?
Yes. Okay. So, I mean, a few times in high school, I would try to smoke for the first time with my friends, but I wasn't even inhaling it right. So I would never really got high in high school. But then when I went to college at UNC, you know, I'm around like a lot of frat parties and people who are now dabbling into drugs and alcohol. And I did it socially and I had a great time. I was always like bubbly, giggly. I thought I was like my coolest self when I was high. And then I remember one day I did it by myself. And then I think that's kind of what led to that dark path was like that first time I did it by myself because I fell in love with it. You know, I just felt like I was very spiritual at the time, like new age spirituality, like crystals and witches and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I was like closer to the source. I thought I was like a starseed, a witch. It was definitely psychosis looking back at it, but that turned into, you know, smoking before bed to turn my brain off. And then it turned into, okay, I have to do it before the gym so I can get a good lift in. And then it turned into doing it before class so I could think better. So I was just so reliant on it and I was doing it every single day, all day long. And then I would isolate myself. So like I didn't see my parents for a long time. I wouldn't sleep well because when the marijuana is in your system, you don't hit REM sleep. So I was like groggy all the time. And I thought it was good for me. I thought I was like my best self. But now looking back, the marijuana in my system was not good.
You know, so what kind of things were you dealing with? I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, what kind of did you knew what you were doing was you probably shouldn't be doing it? Like, at what point were you like, oh fuck, this is kind of a
Yeah, I think I always knew I had that conviction of, oh, I probably shouldn't be doing this. But I think it was to the point where I would withdraw from like social activities and like my friends inviting me to church. I wouldn't go because I wanted to sleep in from getting high all night, or I would just decline and not go to like family events because I'd rather stay home and get high. And then that turned into me not being able to have like conversations with people anymore. Like I remember always wanting to wear a hat or sunglasses whenever I could. One, not so people didn't know I was high, but two, because I didn't want to interact with anyone. Like I had such bad social anxiety during that time.
social anxiety?
Yes. Yes, 100%. And I'm still like trying to figure out why, but I think it's because I was like in my own little world and I almost thought everyone around me was like kind of out to get me in a weird way.
Almost paranoid.
Yes, paranoid.
Yeah.
That's the word.
I was very paranoid too until I started taking medication.
Yes.
It was the craziest shit, dude. That's so, and there's studies coming out with marijuana and things like it creates anxiety. It creates all of these things that we think that it takes away.
Yes.
right? It actually creates higher anxiety, higher amounts of depression because of shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I was very much the same way. Like, I isolate myself. And it was weird too. When I
Yeah.
was drinking, I would go like 6 months and I'd drink a lot. And then Ashley'd be like, dude, you're drinking a lot. And I'd be like, all right, well, I'll smoke. Right. So it was this substitute, this back and forth for a really long time.
Yeah.
I think you could say that for every drug, though.
Yeah.
Every alcoholic, you just kind of want to do it yourself. Like, leave me alone. This makes me feel better.
True.
And
you
you,
said isolation with alcohol and things like, dude, that's why
Whatever.
like, even up until a few weeks ago, I really didn't believe that there was a problem with smoking weed. I really didn't until I was like, I'm like, okay, I want to get healthy. I want to start working out. What does that look like in my life? Like, if I'm going to do that, I need to be up in the morning, right? Like, I got to get out of bed. First of all, I need to go to bed at night. Second of all, I need to get up in the morning. And it's super fucking hard. Like, way harsher than I ever thought it was going to be, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, like, I struggle with a lot of those things, but like, it sounds like it was very similar to you. Like, where you just kind of made you lazy. Like,
Yes. Yep.
just kind of rounded off those edges of who you are.
Yeah.
In a bad way, not in a good way.
Yes, 100%. It just dulled me as a person. It like helped calm my brain. But then when I wasn't using it, if anything, I was worse because it's like you're tired from not sleeping good. Yeah, I just wasn't myself on it or, coming off of it.
Did you have anybody in your life at the time that you felt like you could go take this stuff to and talk to about it?
No, I didn't because there's a big stigma around like weed's not addictive, right? So I felt like if I told anyone, hey, like I think I'm addicted to weed, they would laugh, right? And so I remember I finally told my family that I had quit like cold turkey one night. I was like, I'm not going to do it for a week. And I genuinely was having like panic attacks and I wasn't sleeping and I was kind of getting like a cold because at that point I had been doing it for a year straight. So, yes, my body's going to have some sort of reaction, but yeah, I didn't really like tell anyone. But I remember telling my parents like, yeah, I made it a week without weed and like they didn't really understand that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Mm.
So did they didn't really understand exactly what was going on in your life?
Yeah. And I don't think I ever really told them like, yeah, I've been doing this every single day, all day long for the past year. So maybe that's why they didn't get how big of a deal it was. But
to your point too, like now that I'm looking at it, like I could see for sure how that would have taken control of your life.
Yeah, I was very just content with life. Just, wake up, go to class, work out, come home, smoke, and then just same thing over and over again. But I wasn't growing. I wasn't reading. I wasn't listening to podcasts. I wasn't like doing hard things. It was just a cycle that repeated itself over and over again.
Were you still working out, though?
Yes.
At least you did that.
Yep.
That's legit.
Yeah, dude. I didn't do that for a long time.
Dude, I could never work out high, ever. And then, I mean, I still never did, but my buddies, we went to go work out at Red Rocks. And we're driving down there, and then they pull out weed. I'm like, you guys, like, is this real? Like, oh, yeah, bro, try it. Like, it just numbs the, like, whatever. That numbs the hardness or whatever. And I couldn't do it. It was freaking terrible.
I think I'd probably just take a nap,
We still did the workout, but it was just terrible.
Yeah. It was like the mind muscle connection. Like if I was doing lat pull downs, I could like feel it so much better. It helped my brain just slow down.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's 100% like one of my favorite things to do is to smoke and take a shower. And this sounds super weird, but I was like, every time I do it, I felt like I just focused more on the details.
Yes.
And that's what I liked about it because I struggle with it.
Yes.
When I'm 100% sober, and it's because of ADHD, right? Like I really do struggle with those details, and you're right. Like it slows you down, dude. There was times I would be struggling with this podcast, and some creative direction on this, and I would smoke, and boom, it'd come to me.
Yeah.
So I always had these like I don't know. There was a lot. I always attributed very positive things to it.
Yeah, and I still juggle with that. Like, can I do it in balance? Like maybe once a night a week if I do want to just turn my brain off and dive into something that allows me to be creative or something, because it does like slow you down and you think about things in another light. It's like you have a different like pair of glasses on.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you too about your ADHD. Like, how do you manage that without anything?
So I have a prescription of Ritalin that I have just in case, but I notice every time I take it, I'm like so zoned in, shaky a little bit, so zoned in that I'm not my bubbly self. So like one time I took it before a business meeting I had, and I was just so boring. It was just everything was business. And at the end of the day, like I run my business to help people. And how can I do that if I'm not fully myself? So if I need to like lock in and get something done, then I'll take it. I need to like edit a video or something. But also this is where God comes in, is I know that he made my brain the way it is as a gift. So I'm learning to use that gift and not suppress it, you know? Because that's another slippery slope, is like I don't want to be reliant on Adderall or Ritalin either.
I know.
So
I don't take that stuff.
yeah.
It helps a lot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in those moments. But at the same time, like I'm an addict, you know, and I'm a very black and white person.
Yeah, like there was one day a couple months ago, I took it every single day that week because it felt so good. I was like, wow, I can actually focus. And I could just see myself like getting hooked on it again, you know? So,
well, that's what I finally told my doctor. He's like, dude, you know, successfully did Adderall. And I was like, I wouldn't say that was successful. I was like, dude, I'd take the whole prescription in 2 weeks.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
way too much.
Or I'll take one. I'm like, should I take one more?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it was, yes, exactly. And again, it goes back to the point of what you said, right? You're relying on something else to bridge a gap.
Yes, like I'm relying on something outside of me in the world to make me feel good.
Dude, and that's the thing too, like I've thought about this with business, like delegation, you know, surrounding yourself with people that are different than you, you know, and like that have those skills that you're trying to attain. You know what I mean? Because just naturally, that's going to wear off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Aaron and I are so completely different. And there are multiple times that I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How can you look at something like that and just have zero emotion around it? But at the same time, his perspective is like, dude, just fucking sack up and do it. No excuses. And
Yeah.
I'm full of fucking excuses. And so it's good. Like I learned this at the group. This is one thing that I will always remember, but it's like, if you want to master something in your life, go surround yourself with people that have done that already. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and it's
yeah.
hard. It's really hard to do that, you know, and it's really hard, especially for somebody like me. Like, I think I'm right all the time, you know, like I'm very arrogant in that. And so it's very hard for me to accept input, even from like my wife, you know, from Aaron, from like these people that are close to me that know me really well.
Yeah.
Because I think why that's there, right, is because it's true. You know, and you're like, fuck, like I just don't want to do that. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I think the ego gets in the way a little bit too.
So that's just like, that's an ongoing battle. Like I'm always curious to know how you're managing your ADHD, because in my opinion, I feel like you're managing it better than I am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad it looks like that from an outside perspective. I've had to do a lot of inner work and a lot of research. I think a big thing is, you know, I did go get that brain scan. They like probed me up and they watched my brain waves, and I got on a call with them, and I thought they were just going to say I have anxiety depression, because that's all I like identified myself with growing up. And when he said ADHD, like I just started crying, because that wasn't even a thought in my head.
But it made so much sense.
But I was like, oh my gosh, all the dots connected. One, getting that just like confirmation from, you know, having a brain scan, and two, doing the research, because the doctor wasn't going to teach me how to like live my life in a good way. Like, he's not in my shoes every single day. So he's not Morgan's brain. So I had to like figure out and do the inner work, research, reading books about it, podcasts about it. And then really just going back to the basics, like treating myself like a toddler at times. Like, okay, am I having like an outburst of like an ADHD kind of outburst right now because I didn't eat or I didn't sleep? You know, just like making sure those basics are covered. And then,
do you talk to somebody on a consistent basis, like therapist, psychiatrist?
I don't. Only God, really.
Yeah.
Because something doesn't sit right with me where I have to like pay someone to listen to me, you know? And I went to school for psychology, so I sat in on some of the classes that a therapist would have taken, and they're great. But so much of the stuff is like outdated too. Yeah.
Because that's what I just keep getting recommended to like psychiatrists, you know, and like go see this. I'm like, dude, all they're going to do is give me drugs, you know, like, and that's literally like, we can't prescribe you this stuff, right? Like you need to go talk to somebody that, where did you get your...
See, that's all they want to do is just give you pills.
I know, man.
Dude, it's the whole thing is fucked up.
I was the one that brought up healthy living, and I'm not bashing my doctor, dude. Like he's awesome. Like he's very, very on the holistic side, like to the point of like, he's like, dude, I really don't want you taking testosterone, like all of these things. What I want you to do is eat healthy and work out.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, you can accomplish everything in your life if you just do those two things.
Like, I have to work out in the morning for my brain to work right. Like, I couldn't have come on this podcast and talked today if I didn't work out before this.
Yeah.
It's like release those
Is it
natural
really that
endorphins. Yes. And I actually learned this from my dad, because whenever we go on vacation, he always wakes up so early, sneaks out, and he goes and works out. I'm like, why do you always do that? He's like, to have a good day, I have to work out.
Does your dad
And-
have ADHD?
Yes. My
dude.
dad.
Hate days that you skip the workout, man.
See, and I'm in
It's
that.
just
I'm in
groggy
that
and like
development
you don't
phase of,
think.
like, I'm trying to introduce that stuff to my life. Dude, it is fucking hard, man. Like, to get up and automatically do all of these things that are just gonna like suck.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But dude, it helps with when life is hard.
Yeah.
Because like, well, shit, I've already done 2 wads. I've already ran 2 miles.
Right.
Like, this is easy.
Dude, and that's what I'm realizing behind all of this is the most important thing, right? Is the mindset that you carry into your everyday.
Because you're doing things that you do not want to do.
Exactly.
That alarm goes off at 4 o'clock, and it is like, God damn it! I went to bed. I softball last night till late. I didn't get home till 11. I just want to sleep. But no, you get up anyway, and you do the hard things anyway, and that just carries into everything, dude.
This is my biggest problem right now. 2 kids, 7 and 4, married. I'm being.
I know. I'm listening. I'm
being
listening.
honest with you, because this is truly like, this is me being super vulnerable.
Yeah.
And honest about this and admitting like this is where the issue lies, and I know it. So I've got all these responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
All day long, work, and dude, we're in a phase of financial crisis. All of these kinds of things that are just crazy stressful, dude. 2 young kids that require constant attention, you know, trying to dig ourselves out of this hole. At the end of the day, I just want to sit the fuck down, you know? And it's like, my kids go to bed at 8:30, and from 8:30 to midnight is my time. Like, that is my time for me, and I don't use it well, right? Like, I should be going to bed earlier. I should be getting up earlier. But to me, I look at this as like, everything else in my life is a responsibility. So under that tree, that like branch of responsibility, these are all things that I don't necessarily love doing, but I have to do, right?
Yeah.
And so, but this 8:30 to 12 o'clock time at night, I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? And so I've created this mental, like, I don't know, I guess force field around this thing of like, this is mine, and I protect it. You know what I mean? Because it's my way of being selfish. I don't know, dude. It's really hard for me, I think, to give that up, right? Because it's this mentality thing of like, oh, I've worked so hard, I deserve a break. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily the drugs. It's not necessarily, it's that time, right? I want that time. For so long, it's been mine. And I've struggled with this for over a decade.
Well, dude, think about it this way. I'm very selfish of my time too. I need my lift. I need my workout.
Time for positive things, right? Like, I could be writing a journal for this podcast. I could be creating my own journal of my life. Like, I could be doing these things that are productive, but instead I sit on my phone and fucking play games, have zero impact on anything, right? Or I watch a movie that I've already seen. That's like, what a fucking waste of time. You know what I mean? And then I bitch and I complain that these things aren't getting done the right way when I'm wasting, what is that, 28 hours a week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really hard. That's been really, really hard for me. Like, almost harder than quitting drinking.
Well, you recognize it.
Yeah, he's self-aware, which is great.
And so, like, do you guys ever feel that way? Like, and I feel like sometimes too, it might just be because the things that I'm doing in my life are not necessarily what I'm passionate about. And like, they feel like work to me all the time, you know? And so it's like, I just feel like, you know, being a real estate agent, you're in a different industry, right? Like, I always tell people real estate's not a job. It's a lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and it's something that you have to commit to, like, constantly. So I don't know, dude. Like, and kids are hard. Like, you're constantly doing things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you need to do. And it's like, I have so much rewiring to do in my brain around all of that stuff, right? Like, people see time with your kids as like this positive thing, but for me, it's exhausting, you know?
Yeah.
Not that I don't love my kids, I do. And I try really hard, but like, I don't know. And that's why I'm introducing working out and all of these things, trying to like find this healthy balance in my life. I've got the energy to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just want to be very honest about that because that's what's going on in my life. It's why it's why I cut weed out. You know, I'm talking like.
What's your advice for him?
I would say that you need to fill your own cup up first in the morning before you can pour into other people all day. Because you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a business owner. Like you are around people all day long and you are constantly giving them your energy, right? So in the morning, that's when you have your time to stack your morning with wins. You get up, you make your bed, you say thank you, God, you drink a glass of water, you get to the gym, move your body, get your heart rate up, finish it with a cold shower. Like those are so many wins that you just got in like 2 hours. It's going to set you up for a great day.
Don't you worry about cold shower and like the atrophy that you've just gained though in the gym? Cold plunge, yeah. If you cold plunge right after a lift, you lose a lot of. It's just it does the atrophy. Now, cold shower is different than cold plunge.
Sorry,
but I just didn't know if you'd ever heard that. We don't have to talk about that. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, keep going. That's you. You're gonna explain it way better than I will.
Yeah.
I'd say it in 4 words.
Yeah, but so since you have like those 3 hours from 8:30 to so you're going to bed at like 12 and you watching movies, play on your phone like 9 to 12, right?
Yeah.
I want to like take those 3 hours and just shift them to the morning side of the day. Like imagine how much you could do in those 3 hours. But yes, you have kids. So what time?
Dude, my kids don't get up till 8.
Okay.
You know, if I'm up at 5, I got 3 hours.
Yeah. And you can even go outside and just run around the neighborhood.
Fuck, dude, my parents just gave us $10,000 worth of workout equipment that we're installing into our house.
Okay, see, I feel like it's coming together.
It is, and that's the thing. Like, I just want to be vulnerable about those things because I don't feel like I've admitted them to Ashley, but I haven't really admitted them to anybody like you guys, you know, inside of our network. Like, I didn't even tell it, like you or anyone that I was smoking while this whole thing was going on. Like, I felt convicted about that. You know what I mean? I'm like not technically sober. You know,
California sober is what they call it.
Yeah. So yeah, last weekend was the Greeley Stampede and I had like 5 beers and wasn't proud of that. I don't know what came over me. I was like, you know what? I haven't drank in a while. Let's just give it a go. And Sunday morning and all of this week, I've just been super like brain foggy. Because I'm like, yeah, I fall into it and we're not perfect, but.
Was alcohol ever like a huge issue for you?
It wasn't like an addiction issue. It was more so since I have ADHD, I'm already low on dopamine.
So it was like,
So then it was just making me even lower because it's a depressant. It was basically I'd have a really good night, give me a big dopamine hit. I'm having fun. But then for the next week or so after drinking, I am just not myself. I'm just so like sad and anxious and negative. You know?
Would you say you're like that naturally?
Like programmed negatively and stuff like that?
Like, I would say inherently, like my family is kind of errs on the side of negative. Like,
yeah.
My natural state of mind is like to look for the hole in something. You know what I mean? It's like to look for the reason that it won't work.
Yeah. I'd say so too. And I think that's just like that's our human nature too. Like we're supposed to survive. So we're all constantly looking around for things that could hurt us. So it's a lot of like rewiring.
Not to dig on my dad or anything like that. Like I know that came from a place of love, but like it was always this like mindset of like, well, I'm just trying to protect you. But it gave me this very negative mindset of like fear almost, you know, like I'm afraid of failure, like fear of failure. I don't know if you guys ever did the board breaking thing with the group. So you list out like your greatest fear, why it's there. And you write like, you answer these like 4 or 5 questions, you write it out on a board, 12 by 12 piece of pine board, and then you go break it. Right. And it's this, well, you do it like this, like you kind of, So, but I did it probably 3 or 4 times, and every fucking time, my greatest fear was fearing the fear of failure. And to look at where I'm at right now, like everything that I was afraid of in those moments has come to fruition in my life because I fucking focused on it.
That right there.
There's a Tony Robbins thing. He went to this racing course where you have an instructor and you're driving fast, and the instructor has the ability to just spin you out randomly. You're driving and he'll press a button and all of a sudden you spin out. And what always happens is the driver looks at the wall instead of look where you want to go and steer that direction to get out of the spin.
That's why they hit the wall.
And so he would crash all the time, and the instructor literally had to grab his head and turn it that way. And it happens all the time. It's really easy in our industry right now to go, oh, rates suck. Fuck you. It's not the rates. Oh, dude, the market's tough. No, it's not. Oh, dude, no. Turn your head and find the positivity. It's 100% up here.
Yeah.
There's deals to be had, followers to get. There's wins to be had everywhere. There's people out there making $1 million a year doing everything because they're looking that way, not at that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, it's all in the mind. Like whatever you focus on more is gonna come up that. So when you're thinking about the bad, that's all you're gonna see, right? Like if someone tells you not to look for a yellow bus, you're gonna see all the yellow buses.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it's the same thing as like you buy a new car and all of a sudden you see those cars everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So instead of feeling bummed about how our day went and sitting there till midnight playing on our phone thinking how unproductive we are and then waking up like, fuck, man, I did nothing today.
Right.
I think, dude, having the schedule that you just laid out is so perfect. The kids go to bed at 8:30. Dope. So do you.
That's, yeah, dude.
And then it's not hard to wake up at 5 when you go to bed at 9. You got your full 8. You're up. You kick ass. It's the same thing. Why do they tell you, like, when the plane crashes to put the oxygen mask on yourself first? I have an immediate reaction. No, I'm taking care of my kid, right? But if I can't breathe, we both die. So put that mask on yourself first. Get up, get your wins, and you feel awesome, dude.
Dude, and the thing is I've done it, right? Like, there's been a handful of days that even if I get up and don't work out, you know, it's like, okay, at least I got up.
Dude, there's this dude that, like, he lost like a shit ton of weight, but the only thing he did the first month was he literally drove to the gym, checked in, got in his car, and left. He mastered the art of showing up first. Then it was about the losing weight.
And that's the thing that I've been trying to tell my wife too, is like, this is like, I wrote out what a perfect day looks like, right? As far as all of this goes, schedule wise, routine wise, like I have it written out, right? It's up at 5 a.m., read my Bible, brush my teeth, go work, eat some food, go work out, you know, go take a shower, go actually have a real breakfast. And all of that can be done by 7:30.
100%.
All of that, you know, and it's like, I don't know. And another thing, not to back, like I've got people in my life that I'm like, oh, I'm so busy today. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Well, I got to go get my hair done. It's not busy. Like that's the kind of environment, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of turning into like me laying on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're visualizing the man you want to be, that you aspire to be. So you almost have to like fake it till you get there in a way. You know,
and that's what I was telling Ash. Like, it's not about perfection, right? Like, I wrote out what the perfect day looks like so that if that happens, I can look at that and find like some kind of like, holy shit, I fucking did it. You know, like that was awesome. And so she tends to hold me very, very like every day. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, I'm trying to rewire everything in my brain right now. Like, it's not about perfection. It's about progress, which I feel like we're making. So I don't know. This is helpful. And again, I don't know, dude, like I see so much of myself in you, you know, and I just identify with a lot of the things that you struggle with. So I'm just very curious how you deal with them in your own life.
Sorry. So you've been vulnerable. Now you got your accountability of where you're realizing where you're at with your accountability. You've realized where you're at with your accountability. Right? You have some days that are motivated, but you just got to get disciplined to do it when you aren't motivated.
Dude, and that's why it's the pillar number 6, right? Self-discipline. 1, I put it in there because selfishly, I need it. Like, I've got to think about that.
Well, discipline is everything. Fuck balance. It's stupid.
Yeah, motivation is a bad friend. Motivation doesn't show up.
Yeah.
It's discipline.
Yeah, dude. Like, well, I mean, I know you're the hero of the story, but I think he needs this.
Yeah.
For sure. And actually, I was really excited about this conversation because I had some of these questions already teed up in my mind. What did you say? Motivation?
Motivation's a bad friend. Doesn't show up. Discipline. And that's when you do the things you absolutely don't want to do anyways.
Yeah. And that's where it's like the cold showers, right? Like you're flexing that muscle. Like you're doing things that and even, dude, our family motto that we created is we can do hard things.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we tell our kids all the time.
Mhm.
I'm very much struggling with that in my life.
Dude,
So,
as the leader of the family, you got to be doing the hard shit every day.
mm,
Like, it was so awesome. You got to, dude, but you are, but dude, you're doing hard things. You're celebrating a win today. Getting sober is not easy. You know, like, that's awesome. So stop looking at the wall for a second, right? Turn your head towards where you're gonna recover from this spin out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking huge win. And
yeah.
now you can build on that. Lifting is so much easier than getting sober, or whatever it is, running or yoga or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. One of my things, I wasn't going to tell you this, but one of my things that I want to do.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Anyways, let's get off that. I want to get back to
I know.
the
Sorry,
story,
Morgan.
dude. Like,
Yeah, no, I love it. I think, yeah, having a goal like that to look forward to, like the light at the end of the tunnel,
yeah. How does
it gives you a why every day.
Yeah. And it's good, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm an addict, right? So I've got to find something healthy in my life that I can just pour myself into like that. So how
You
does
were an addict. Stop looking at the wall.
Right, whatever. Yeah.
That's
Not
good.
whatever.
You're right. Our words are so powerful. Words
Yep.
are so powerful. Everything we say, we can either speak life or death over us or over other people.
It's very true. And it's so easy to fall into that trap, man.
Your body doesn't know the difference between a joke or truth.
Yes.
100%
true.
it doesn't. Sorry, I'm picking on you today.
It's all right. I need it. You know, and it's our first pillar, dude, like vulnerability, right? And then personal accountability. You know, where in this am I struggling? Like right now, I was going to ask you, how does faith play
It's a good
into
question.
your story, you know, with all of this?
Loaded question. Having faith in my life and believing in God is the reason why I wake up every single day. Like when I was depressed, I would spend all day in bed, either scrolling on my phone, getting high. Like there was just no purpose for me being here. It felt like even growing up, when I was talking about how I just had so many like feelings and I didn't know how to deal with them, like I had threatened like suicide a few times growing up, and my parents didn't know how to handle that. But it was because I didn't have faith in anything bigger than me. I just thought it was me, I. Everything's happening to me, against me. But then when something clicked, I had a random roommate in college and moved in with her, total stranger. But just the way she like approached life, she was just such an amazing person. I'm like, there's something about this girl. And then I started to see like what she did every day. She was reading the Bible, going to church, putting herself in like groups of other Christians. And that's when I started reading the Bible for the first time. And then I realized it actually talks about mental health a lot in the Bible, like the spirit of depression, the spirit of anxiety. And then just seeing, like at the time, sorry, I'm all kind of all over the place, but like I was also in school at the time studying psychology. So I'm just seeing studies on how gratitude can change your life. And then I look at the Bible and I'm comparing it to verses about giving thanks to God and reading Proverbs. So I just started to see how like the science is actually backing scripture, which is really cool. So a lot of people are just like Big Bang Theory, and then there's like believers in God, and I kind of just saw them like come together in a way. But it gives me why every single day, and I know that like just every single thing is God's timing, and everything happens for a reason, and even down to just having a conversation with a stranger, like that was supposed to happen.
You know, and that's like you said this too, like your words are so powerful, you know, and I think that too is like through spirituality and faith and those things, I've learned to talk to myself in a better way, in a better manner, like,
Yeah.
and to really like, I don't feel like God is asking for perfection, right? Like he's just, dude, just try, like progress, make some progress, you know.
Well, how many times in the Old Testament the whole Testament, dude, is fucking up. God gives you grace. They
Right.
fuck up
Well,
over and over and over again.
Look at the life of Moses, dude. Like, you know,
He got a raw deal at the end. He got a raw deal at the end, man. He did all that, and then I'm sorry, man. The Rock, bro. Remember that? God.
40 years. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just am curious, like how that plays. Was it a part of your recovery process, like the faith piece of it? And I'm thinking, like, you know, in AA, they're like, you got to hand everything over to a higher power. Like, do you feel like you were that far into this thing, or like?
Yeah, for a couple reasons. I was definitely being like, when you are under the influence of something and you're not sober minded, right? It talks about this in the Bible. Like you're more susceptible to the enemy, right? So I was just facing so many like spiritual attacks, and I didn't even know for a lot of the time that that's what it was. But all these like, intrusive thoughts coming in my head, like, you're not good enough, you suck, you're stupid. All this was from the enemy, but it's because I was giving the enemy more and more of me every single day, doing all these bad things for me. So
you almost smoking and doing that stuff and you're muting
yes,
that that God.
Yes.
In your life.
And then another part of it is when you are high or you're groggy from coming off of it, you can't hear God as well, too, right? It's confusing. You're like, is this from God? Is this from the enemy? Is this from me, my ego? So I've realized when I'm like completely sober-minded, I can hear God so much louder. Therefore, that helps me be a better follower of God and help other people.
That makes a ton of sense. And I was going to ask you this: how does the voice of God manifest in your life? Is it by a strong emotion to move in one direction? Like, how do you?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I will just know, like kind of like what the Bible says about there's something about peace, like the unknowing peace, or what's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Peace that surpasses all understanding. Something like that. Like I just get almost like downloads from him. Like I just know a thought enters my brain. I'm like, that's from God.
Because it's random.
Yes, but it's like Holy Spirit in me just fills me with something. And I know I should go talk to that person, or I should do this thing for this person. But I'll also have like dreams and stuff, and they're very vivid. Or what's cool is sometimes like a stranger will come up to me and we'll have a conversation, and it's exactly what I needed to hear. So he works through a lot of ways. Strangers, visions, dreams, thoughts.
Emotions.
Yeah. And then I'm not good at this one, but just going straight to the source, the Bible itself, when I need help with something.
That can be hard though too, because I'm the same way, dude. Like I would much rather have a conversation with somebody like you or Aaron, and talk through it and be like, hey, this is kind of where I'm at. Always been that way.
Yeah.
And I process things externally, right? So it's like a lot of my ideas and things like come out of conversation. Oh, like we'll be shooting a video over at Kiger or something like that, and boom, it's like you get these random ideas, right?
Yeah.
But I think my biggest issue with my relationship with Christ is like knowing if it's going to benefit me or somebody else, right? And if it's directly going to benefit me, I have to second guess that, right? Am I doing this because of my ego? Am I doing this because, I truly want to help other people or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, it's why the volunteer thing I'm struggling with it, because I think I did that out of ego. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, I'm going to get all these people to do this. The town of Windsor's going to love it. I'm going to be the head of it. And it's flopping completely, right? Like, and I think that is an ego check for me. Hey, dude, this is not the path that I wanted you on. This is you getting involved in this situation in a way that I don't necessarily want.
Yeah, I can see that. Like your flesh wanting to be like, yeah, we're going to do this thing so it looks good. Right. But I think things that come from God are peaceful, and things that aren't from God are going to be the more chaotic things that you can't, it doesn't sit right with you.
No, dude, that was probably the best description I've ever heard somebody say that. It's so true.
God is a peaceful God.
So if you're feeling chaotic, if you're looking at something and you're like, that's not from God, fear's not from God. 2 Timothy 1:7 is my favorite Bible verse. He did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and love, power, and sound mind.
Yes.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. That's how I know, like with all things, with friendships, relationships, if it's causing so much chaos and craziness and anxiety and fear, I'm like, God does not want this for me. And so
that just really makes it very black and white. Which that's, I think, why I love it so much, because and I think I always talk about this too, like faith is tough, right? Because it requires something of you. Christianity, I feel like, is tough. Following Christ, like it requires something of you, and I think that's why people struggle with it, because it's number one, it's being vulnerable, dude. It's going out and leading by example, right? Like, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Circle that one.
Yeah. It is hard to, follow Christ sometimes, because just like our flesh wants to do the worldly things, like to do the drugs and the partying, and it's easier that way that everyone else is doing it. So yeah, but we're supposed to be set apart and be different.
So what about like community? You know, I mean, and we keep getting kind of on these rabbit trails, which are great. I love them. Like this is you just talking about all the problems in your life. You know, this is a lot of like solution based conversation, which I think we need to have a lot more. Right. So as far as community and service, like have those played a part in? I feel like I can almost answer that for you, right? Because you're getting involved with Clean and Sober. Like you said it to me multiple times outside of this podcast. Like, you know, so kind of go into that a little bit. How is that helping you stay on the straight and narrow? And
Yeah, it definitely keeps me in check when I'm serving, because there's days I have bad social anxiety and I don't want to leave my apartment. I just want to be by myself and be protected in my little space. But then if there's like a Clean and Sober event that I have to go to, like in my head, I'm like, oh, do I have to go? Should I just cancel? Am I actually needed there? But then it keeps me in check, like, okay, no, this is not about you. You need to go out there and be around, just help people. So yes, having community gets me out of my shell a little bit, because if I'm alone too much, the enemy is so much more loud. You can hear him more loud when you're alone. So definitely being around people that have gone through the same things, but also people that I think surrounding yourself with people that you want to be like too is powerful.
this is probably just because I'm such a social person. Like, dude, when I get depressed or things like other people, and it's going to bring me out of that, right? It's going to kind of, and I try to make it about other people, right? Conversations, whatever. But if I say yes to those, it's crazy how God can really show up, and really redirect your path.
Yes. I like what you said about saying yes to things.
Yeah. And that's where it's funny because I feel like I've said yes to too many things, or I'm trying to get my own ego involved in this whole thing, right? But really at the end of the day, and I'll admit it, dude, like, do I want people to know who I am? Fuck yeah. 100%. Like that is in my personality, right? It would give me a platform to really speak truth into people's lives. Like I love that, like I'm very, like I can see myself becoming very focused on that in a not so great way. There's definitely a part of that to this podcast of like, hey, look what we're doing, and I have to keep that in check constantly because I feel like when I get to that point, things start to fall apart. Right? Guests start canceling. Podcast interviews don't go well. I didn't sleep enough the night before, so my brain's not totally there, right? Like all of these kinds of things. But I don't know. So now it's like, okay, let's bring this back to the original idea of what this was all about, right? Like my buddy committed suicide, and I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of seeing my friends lose their lives over something like this, something that could easily, in my opinion, maybe not easily, but, could definitely be taken care of. So, I don't know.
Well, that's why these conversations are good, because it gets people to think differently and not just go towards some one way or another.
So let me ask you this. And do you today, how long have you been sober from marijuana?
Can we just call it weed, dude? Marijuana, it's like, I don't know.
Call it whatever the fuck you want.
I don't know. Sorry. Just like,
how long has it been since you smoked weed?
Oh, I wish it was longer than this, but New Year's was the last time I would have done it.
Yeah.
And
when? Yesterday, it wasn't 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, true. Wow.
August.
Yeah. And I noticed like the last time I did it too, I just get so anxious too. I don't know what it is. Like I used to really enjoy it, but now the last few times I've done it, it's just like I have a panic attack and I spiral.
Do you feel like that's because you shouldn't be doing it?
Yes. I think, yep. Yeah.
But that's cool to know, like, you've put up those walls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have created this boundary around that is like, if I go down that road, this is what's going to happen. And so I think that's kind of cool. Like, I don't know, man. Like, those desires don't go away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's very easy. We were talking about this the other day, too. It's very easy to just throw in the towel.
We were talking about the other day, I was in Greeley for a video shoot, saw a dispensary. It's like I could just drive through because they make it so easy these days. I was like, okay, if I go through the drive-thru, then I'm going to get a bunch of weed and then I'm going to have to use it, right? So,
I'm going to have to stay at my house for 6 weeks.
that's not good for me. Like,
But I'm the kind of person that if it's there, I'll do it.
yes.
You know?
I can't have it around me at all, or else it's being
so
sneezed.
black and white when it comes to that shit. The other thing I was going to say, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, with the community pieces, you start to create accountability.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Because now I have like the Clean and Sober Facebook page going on my personal page. I'm like, okay, like I got to be an example these days too. I can't be like getting blackout drunk at the bars downtown anymore, like, because
And does that, like, for me, dude, there's been a lot of times that this podcast has kept me sober. The accountability to the people that do listen to it, the people that show up at Clean and Sober. I've identified myself as this person. And that's a massive failure if you go backwards. And I love that I knew enough about myself to create that.
Mm.
And I think that that's the biggest piece that keeps me sober. Because if I were to do it, I would have to get on this microphone. Otherwise, I'm a fucking and that's the thing. It's like, I don't care where people are at in that journey. I don't even care if you believe in God, but you do have to believe in something higher than you, right? Something bigger than you. It could be a purpose, whatever. You know what I mean? And I think that that's another huge thing that community offers, is that sounding board. And I don't know everything. I wish I did. But I mean, shit, dude, going through this process, you learn something new every day, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
I think that's where this is going to get a lot better for us. Because I just saw like 20 minutes ago, I think I realized it. That like, dude, you need this way more than anybody. This podcast.
100%, dude. It's why I've kept it going. And it's, if you look at the numbers and the statistics.
You've kept it going. Hold on.
We have kept it going. You are definitely the one that's holding it.
It's not about me. It's us. But like, you needed this more than anything. I think it finally all clicked together. And I think now that you're kind of at this pivot point, which way you're gonna go, it's gonna take off so big.
I hope so.
I think there's a lot of things that, and not necessarily numbers, but like how we first started out, dude, we were booked out 8 months. Well, I mean, that's an exaggeration, but
not quite. I mean, we were pretty damn close.
So
the 8 weeks, but
the cool thing is that we're in this really good opportunity now where we could just bail.
Which, let me ask you this. This is directed at you. Have you had the desire to quit?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Why? Do you actually feel emotions?
Yeah, of course.
You do?
Yeah.
You just mute them?
Nope. Never mute them.
You just process
Muting them causes cancer.
You just process them?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it does.
Say that again. Muting your emotions causes cancer?
I feel like it does.
Okay.
All that negativity.
I think it like
just
breeds
sits there.
illness in you. Yeah.
It just sits there and you're just not going to deal with it. So it's just like.
Yeah, I can agree to that, actually. I've had experiences.
No, man, you just process them and you think about it. And some people meditate. I think a lot about my stuff on my run every morning. And so you just think about this. Okay, like, which direction could it go? And what's really been great, I read the Bible every day and there's so many things that pop up. Okay, there's the answer. Because what you said about causing chaos and like, that's going to be really hard over here, or this is going to be a lot more peaceful over here. How would we quit?
Emotion.
I committed this. You asked me to do it and I said yes. And that's cut and dry.
Yeah. And I'm committed to it as well, obviously. But I mean, I've been going through some weird shit, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, and it's not processing my emotions correctly or well, or letting them fester, or letting them become a subconscious belief, and it's tough, dude. Like, and I feel like if we're gonna sit here and talk about this stuff, like, I'm still going through it. I'm only a year into this journey, and it's not fucking easy, and it doesn't get easier. I would say the longevity of this is the hardest part.
What's the alternative? Go back to drinking.
Exactly, dude. And that's when you break this down logically. It's like, okay, well, it's not a fucking idiot, so just go make the right choice.
Dude, it's financial, it's lifting, it's this, it's sobriety, it's everything. You're going to suffer one way or another.
I know.
You got to choose your hard. Yeah.
But the thing is, dude, like, I don't know. I am king of excuses, right? Like, have been for a very long fucking time. Go back and listen to episode 1. We need to go back and talk about that, because I didn't take a lot of personal accountability in that shit.
No, dude, but don't sweat about that, man. Like you're growing. It's a season.
Well, and the thing that's cool about this podcast is you can see the journey, right? Like you can honestly see my journey from what was it, May of last year to now.
Wow.
You know, and it's cool to see that. But now I'm at this crossroads, right? And I feel like we made this episode about me. Sorry about that.
No.
No, I mean that's what community's all about.
Yeah. No, I prayed over this episode and I was like,
I'm actually thinking a lot about it. And I don't know. I'm just very grateful that you've decided to come alongside us and go on this journey. I have no idea where it's going, you know, at all. But all I know is that I'm a year into this journey and life is so much better. So let's talk about that in your life. How has your life changed in the last 8 months?
of being sober,
Yeah,
like
just
from that last time of.
Yeah. Like what's different in these 8 months? Like how's your mindset been different? What have you done differently, right? Like are you more aggressive with your business? Are you more motivated? Like what are the positive things that have come out of you making that choice?
Yeah, so being sober since 8 months ago, one, I feel like my business has been doing really great. Still hard every single day running your own business, not knowing where your next paycheck's going to come from. Like, yes, it's still hard, but I'm more motivated. There's more discipline there. I have more like joy in it. I feel like it's more clear what I'm supposed to be doing. I can hear God more. I'm making it to the gym every day at 6:30. What else? Yeah, I just have more energy to not only pour into myself, but then pour into other people. Like when I'm smoking, it's just all about me and what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to order from DoorDash because I'm high? And then like, you know, like that's
How
silly,
much money
but
do you waste on
yeah.
DoorDash?
This is what I do. I go drink a half a bottle of vodka at my parents' house, order a sub, and then pass out on the couch. And it'd be there like 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure these fucking delivery drivers were like, "Chris, is that guy okay?" Like as you can see,
Yeah.
I'm just sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and that was like $35 for one sub,
That's crazy.
on top of $30 of booze. Like that's a $60 day just to manage your addiction. You know.
I can't, and this is I mean this in all like niceness or whatever, but I cannot believe that you're like not 300 pounds. Like, how do you stay skinny?
I must have an insane metabolism.
Something.
I mean,
And it's dude, I'm not being mean. I promise.
Okay, random guy across the street over here. He's a dietitian and but he's 57, dude. Jacked. Like I'm like, geez, dude, you're 57. I was like, honestly, I just need help with my diet. It's again, it's the black and white, right? I either don't eat until dinner, or I have to eat like 8 times. Because if I eat, so in my perfect day schedule, it's banana and like some yogurt before I work out, take a shower, and then come down and eat like eggs, toast, bacon, all of it. And then at 10:30, like snack, lunch, noon. And if I don't eat those at those times, I'm starving. You know, and it's got to be my metabolism, dude. I'm almost 40 years old. Like I seriously, I don't know what happens when you work out, but it's like I stunted myself at somewhere along the road. You know, either with drugs or alcohol or something. Like I stunted myself. You know, and I think that naturally I have a high metabolism. You know, and it's like I can eat dinner and then this is probably TMI, but I'll have to go to the bathroom like 10 minutes. Like that's how quickly shit moves through my system.
You just got a bunch of worms living inside you, dude. I'm kidding, but
Very possible.
Yeah.
sorry.
But you know, and that's So I'm just
jealous, dude. That's
what
all.
about
Because I ran 100 miles and only lost like 5 pounds.
Dude, if I ran like I would probably have to have like a pocket full of granola.
Oh, they have all kinds of food for you at the race. It's awesome. It's a sweet little buffet, all for you.
I mean, dude, I got a year to train for that.
Let's go, dude. Let's fucking go.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sign up for it. I'm gonna fucking.
I'll let you know when registration opens. I'm signing up immediately.
What race is it?
It's 100 miles.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to run basically as much as you can.
You get 24 hours, and whoever gets the most miles wins.
Is it going back to anything like charity or something? Like
that's what he did. He gave For every mile, it was like $1 or something. I think he raised like $2,000 for Stillwater Ranch.
It was for my friend Laura's got breast
that's
cancer.
right,
It's her second round of it.
Yeah. But
So yeah, whoever gets the most miles.
I think he ran 75 miles. Is that right?
Unfortunately.
At once.
Like you take breaks. Like they have stations and shit that you can take breaks and like, soak your feet or whatever. But
I'll stop. It's the biggest thing that'll wreck a race, dude, if you sit there for too long. You just keep going. Ranger's got 80. I got Kratom 76.
I realized too that when I'm working out, like you hit this second wind, dude, where you can just keep going, and it's like if you just lock into that and just keep going. But,
yes.
Dude, I love this is more what I want this podcast to look like. Is like how did these pillars affect you in a positive way, right? How did you implement these things in your life to become who you are? And it's super obvious, like vulnerability. Obviously, you're sitting here telling your story. That's step one. You got tons of personal accountability. Faith is obviously a huge, huge thing in all of that. You're working towards something bigger than yourself, helping other people.
Yes,
Community.
sir.
Obviously, you're showing up to what we're trying to create here in Windsor. Service, you're serving in that regard. You've done so many things for us for free that I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. And then the self-discipline, dude. Like,
Thank you. Yeah. All those pillars that you guys have are great. And what you guys are doing is amazing. Like, I know it may not seem like it every single day. And, just like setting all this up and spending money on all this equipment and putting in the late night hours of editing and stuff. Like, it's hard, but there's a ripple effect. And God gave you this vision for a reason.
Because there have been so many days I just, and that's probably my ego. Like, it's not going the place that I want it to go. And that's, I think, we just need to check our heart, our hearts.
Yeah.
Where are we headed? What are we doing? I think the volunteering thing is great. I just think it kind of got. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you want to add to your story?
Let's see.
Or anything that you want to leave with, your nuggets of wisdom?
That's what I was going to ask next. We always ask everybody, like, if you were going to tell listeners one thing, take this one thing.
Oh, that's good.
Or from you as a person, it could be anything.
Yeah.
You could even say seed oils are horrible and you should never.
I second that.
People are stoked about Chick-fil-A going around next to our neighborhood. Our neighborhood's freaking out. And I'm like, really? Because it's got way more ingredients than McDonald's that cause cancer? And you guys are stoked about it?
Yeah. I would say if you guys can take away one thing from this, it's you need to master your mind. Your mind can either be your biggest enemy or it can be what propels you forward. And we were talking about this earlier, like the words that you speak over yourself and other people can either tear you down or lift you up. And so it's very important that if there's a negative thought that comes into your head, you hold it captive and you're like, where's that thought coming from? Why is it triggering something in me? And my shirt says, mindset is everything, because that's truth. So it's all a mental game. There is a book called, what is it called? The Game of Life and How to Play It. And it's actually through the lens of Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ came to earth to show everyone that life is really just a game of like giving and receiving. So read that book and master your mind.
The other, I want to mention this too. I've started listening to this podcast. It's called The Impossible Life. And it's very much about routine. Just master. These guys are very Christian based. One of them was a Navy SEAL. Just a lot of positive there. And it's that like up at 4:30, like this dude's got his day planned to the minute. Like that's how much discipline these guys are practicing. And faith like is a massive part of it. So
yeah,
the Impossible Life is very, very good. Christian based. Kind of helps you reset.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out. And the book Think and Grow Rich
dude,
by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, that's a fucking great book. Well, Morgan, I just want to say thank you for coming in and doing this. I know I'm a little nervous, but you did amazing.
Yeah.
And you are, honestly, for 24 years old, you have such a good head on your shoulders.
Second that.
Thanks, guys.
That gives me a lot of hope for the next generation. That there's people like you thinking the way that you do, really trying to permeate to your culture. So we just want to say thank you to Morgan for taking the time today. Also, just want to say thank you again to you guys for listening. Really, at the end of the day, man, this is all about you guys. It's about trying to help you guys find a new path. And I'm doing it in my life personally right now. So if you guys want a buddy to kind of compare notes with, you can always reach out to me or Aaron or Morgan. We're here to help. So,
or if you want someone to tell you stop being a bitch and do it, hit me up. I got you.
Yeah, call Aaron or Spencer. Yeah, that's what I know. I'm like, if I need like a hug, I'm not going to Aaron.
I'll give you a hug, dude.
Yeah, but I don't. It's like then you'll probably punch me in the gut on the way out.
No, I think I'm only that way with you because I think right now you need the tough love.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know,
I don't like it. I'll tell you that. There's been a lot of times where I'm like, dude.
I know I've kind of been extra picky on you today, but I think you're in a spot where you're going to accept it and hear for what it is as love.
Well, and dude,
instead
that's
of the hug. Because, dude, you need more people in your life that are just going to tell you how it is instead of just letting you fuck up and not saying it.
I think I'm going to clip that out and put it at the beginning because you're absolutely right, dude. We live in a world that people just want to feel good, you know? And it's like, if you, dude, it's the number one thing that causes my wife and I to fight is a difference of opinion, you know, or being challenged or whatever. And it's just like, that is such a good thing. Like, if you have people like that in your life, shut the fuck up and listen.
Dude, that's why I love my wife so much. She does not give up an inch.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you how bad, like, yesterday was something so stupid. I was like working with the kids and yada, yada. And we just had a little miscommunication and she just let me have it. Like, she wasn't like mean or whatever, but she let me know, like, right in the middle of the chimney park pool. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Time and place, read the room here.
Whatever. I'm not afraid of that. But same thing. It was just like, and then it was a classic misunderstanding and we said our piece. And then it's like, okay, we were both wrong. How awesome is that?
Well, and that's cool too that you guys both have an open mindset, you know, to be like, hey, maybe I am wrong. Or, you know, and that's something I struggle with too. Like,
always blame yourself. Well,
100%.
Yeah, it's never anybody else's fault ever. And there's no
totally
joke or humor behind that at all.
All right, dude. Mark that. I'm going to clip this off the end and we're going to make shorts out of that. All right. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. Thank you again, Morgan,
thank
for
you, Morgan.
everything.
Thank you guys
for listening. Again, share, comment, like, post, do all the stuff. Help us out. Let's get this community sober. We love you guys and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.